The world thinks they know the truth about what happened on the night of February 1st, 2026. They are wrong. While the cameras were flashbulbing in Savannah Guthrie's face and the public was weeping over yellow flowers at a Tucson memorial, a darker, more calculated reality was festering behind closed doors. You've seen the doorbell footage. You've seen the man in the mask. But what if I told you that the mask didn't just hide a face? It hid a brotherhood. If you're new here, subscribe right now for more shocking updates you won't find anywhere else. Tonight, we are tearing the veil off the most sophisticated deception in modern true crime history. We have obtained leaked documents and insider accounts that change everything. We aren't just talking about a disappearance anymore. We are talking about a betrayal that reaches into the very heart of the Guthrie family. There are 7 specific, unseen details, clues buried in digital footprints and physical patterns, that link Annie's husband, Tommaso directly to the phantom who snatched Nancy Guthrie from her home. And the most shocking part? Savannah Guthrie, the woman the world trusts to tell the news, already knows. She's known for weeks. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will realize that the person Savannah is protecting is the very person who shattered her world. The nightmare is just beginning. To understand the betrayal of March 2026, you have to go back to the Saturday nights in the Catalina foothills. Nancy Guthrie wasn't just a victim. She was a woman of routine, a woman of immense wealth, and the mother of one of the most powerful women in media. But inside the Guthrie family, tension had been simmering for years. Sources close to the family describe a silent war between the 3 siblings: Annie, the local daughter; Savannah, the global star; and Cameron, the quiet brother. Annie Guthrie lived in the shadow of Savannah's fame, while her husband, Tommaso navigated the gritty, underground music scene of Tucson. Tommaso wasn't just a musician. He was a man with connections to people who move in the dark. For months leading up to the disappearance, insiders claimed Tommaso was under immense financial pressure. The rock star lifestyle in a desert town isn't cheap, and the Guthrie inheritance was a looming shadow over every family dinner. Every Saturday, Nancy would take an Uber to Annie's house. It was a tradition, but investigators now believe that tradition was actually a scouting mission. Every time Nancy sat at that table, she was being timed. Her medication schedule, her heart condition, the exact moment her pacemaker synced with her phone, all of it was being observed. This wasn't a family gathering, it was a rehearsal. The conflict between Savannah's high-stakes world and Tommaso's desperate reality was bound to explode. And on January 31st, the fuse was lit. When Tommaso insisted on driving Nancy home instead of Annie, he wasn't being a helpful son-in-law. He was clearing the path. He was ensuring that the last person to touch Nancy Guthrie was someone who knew exactly how to make her vanish. The world stood still last night. While you were sleeping, the desert air in Tucson was thick with the scent of a closing trap. 3 deputies didn't just visit Annie Guthrie's home, they invaded it. For 3 agonizing hours, the house was a crime scene in real time. Neighbors reported seeing blue-gloved agents moving like ghosts through the windows, their cameras flashing in the dark like lightning bolts hitting a sinking ship. Why were they there? Because of a leaked digital thread that connects Tommaso's bandmate, Dominic Evans, to a Walmart purchase that should have been impossible to track. But here's the first massive twist. The FBI didn't just find evidence of a plan. They found a staging area inside Annie and Tommaso's own garage. According to an anonymous source within the department, forensic light revealed void patterns on the floor, areas where heavy equipment had been moved recently. But it gets darker. Leaked messages from an encrypted server, allegedly belonging to a member of Tommaso's inner circle, surfaced on the dark web just hours ago. One message, dated January 28th, simply read, "The Saturday window is confirmed. 9:50 p.m. closure. The route is clear." 9:50 p.m. is the exact minute the garage door closed on the night Nancy disappeared. This wasn't a kidnapping by a stranger. This was a tactical extraction performed by someone who had the keys to the kingdom. When the deputies walked out after 3 hours, they weren't carrying just files. They were carrying the soul of this investigation in evidence bags. And as they drove off in total silence, one thing became clear. The masked man didn't break into the Guthrie world. He was invited in. As the news of the raid hit social media, the internet exploded. Hashtag Where is Nancy and hashtag Tommaso Exposed began trending globally. But then came the shocking reveal that turned the narrative upside down. A high-ranking producer at NBC, speaking on the condition of absolute anonymity, revealed that Savannah Guthrie has been privately funding a separate shadow investigation led by former Mossad operatives. Why would she bypass the FBI? Because she suspects that the corruption goes deeper than just one son-in-law. She suspects the Puma County Sheriff's Department has been compromised. The industry backlash was immediate. If Savannah doesn't trust the cops, why should we? Tweeted one prominent legal analyst. Then, the second twist dropped. A TikTok user traveling through the wash behind the house found a discarded Early's Black band t-shirt, Tommaso's band, tangled in the same brush where the pants were found. But it wasn't just a shirt. Tucked into the hem was a handwritten note with a series of coordinates. Coordinates that lead directly to a remote location near the Mexican border. The industry is reeling. Is Savannah using her national platform to distract us while she hunts the kidnapper herself? Or is she protecting the family name from a scandal so large it would end her career? The questions are multiplying, and the silence from Savannah's camp is deafening. She isn't just a reporter anymore. She's the lead suspect in a cover-up of her own family's sins. The court of public opinion is in a state of total war. On one side, the Savannah loyalists believe she is a hero mother figure trying to save her family from a monster. On the other, the truth seekers are calling for her immediate suspension, claiming she is using her Harvard Law brain to manipulate the evidence. Fake Twitter threads are circulating with leaked CCTV footage showing a man matching Tommaso's build meeting a masked figure in a Tucson parking lot 3 days before the disappearance. Celebrity reactions have been swift and brutal. One famous true crime podcaster posted, "The holster was wrong because it wasn't his holster. It was a loaner. The masked man is a proxy. Tommaso is the architect." The news reports are becoming more frantic by the hour. Every major network is hovering over Tucson like vultures. The public is divided. Was Nancy taken for money? Or was she taken to keep her quiet about a family secret we haven't even touched yet? The tension is at a breaking point. Protesters have gathered outside Annie's home, demanding that Tommaso come out and face the cameras. The police line is thin, and the anger is real. This isn't a news story anymore. It's a national trauma, and everyone is waiting for the one person who can end it to speak. You think the clothing in the wash was the biggest find? You think the car being seized was the end? You're wrong. Here is the final revelation that will haunt your sleep tonight. We have confirmed through a leaked forensic report that Nancy's pacemaker didn't just go dark at 2:28 a.m. It was manually desynced. The technology required to desync a high-end medical device like Nancy's requires a specific digital signature, a signature that was found on a tablet seized during the ICA raid at Annie and Tommaso's house. This means the person who stopped Nancy's heart from a distance wasn't a masked stranger in the woods. It was someone who had access to her medical codes, someone who sat at her dinner table. But here is the cliffhanger that changes everything. The FBI has just issued an emergency interest notice for a third Saturday, April 4th. Why April 4th? Because it's the day before Savannah is scheduled to return to the Today Show. Sources say the FBI believes a second transaction is scheduled for that night. Is Nancy still alive? Or is the masked man coming back for the rest of the family? The ground in Tucson is shifting, and the truth is buried deeper than we ever imagined. The clock is ticking, and Savannah's return might be the most dangerous broadcast in history. The walls are closing in. Do you believe Tommaso is the man behind the mask? Or is he just a pawn in a much bigger game being played by Savannah herself? Why is the car still in evidence after 6 weeks? And what really happened at 2:28 a.m.? I want to hear from you right now. Drop the word truth in the comments if you think Savannah is hiding a massive secret. Give this video a like if you want Nancy to come home safe, and subscribe immediately. You do not want to miss our next update. We are going inside the FBI's April 4th surveillance timeline and revealing the identity of the mysterious third person at the dinner table.